New floor plan at the time of this filming. This is a 24B Redhawk here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And I suppose I could say it's a revised version of the floor plan, but brought to a new, more price-effective segment here in the Redhawk series, as compared to the inspiration for this model, which is the 24L Melbourne. There were a lot of people who were Mercedes diesel skeptics who really liked this model, but they wanted it with more towing capacity and with more storage. And this Redhawk here addresses all of that and then some. I think, I hate the cliche phrase, but this is instant classic. It's just so commonsensical, you can't believe it didn't exist before. One of the things we like to do for you at Haylett RV is show you what this thing is going to look like with the slide closed. And I think that's a really important facet of purchasing a motorhome, because you are in the cabin, you are accessing this area in transit, unlike a towable RV. Because with a motorhome, your vacation starts the moment you turn the key, not the moment you reach your destination. And that's such an important distinction to wrap your head around between the two. So you see, when you have this big, full-depth super slide closed over here, virtually, I'm going to give it the designator of mega slide, full wall slide, you will actually lose access to your master bed over here. This is a folding section mattress. You do have to do that to make enough room for the bed to close without crushing the bathroom. But of course, you know, that does mean we maintain easy bathroom access, as we'll see later on. But when I turn around here, it's not like you're without sleeping. If you're going down the road, you may have noticed I've got this all folded down here. You do maintain the ability to sleep on this big U-dinette. Now, what's kind of cool here is this is also great guest space. But additionally, you have the full over cab bed that you could also sleep on. So you are going to maintain great amount of sleeping space going down the road. Now, here's a thing you don't normally find in Class C motorhomes, and I suspect you're going to see more and more and more of it. One of the things that people did like on that Jayco Melbourne Mercedes diesel chassis was the fact that the seats could spin around very similar in fashion to a Class A motorhome. Well, you see that Jayco made the investment, they did the engineering to allow for that to happen here in this smaller traditional Class C coach. And that's what gives this thing a very small but very feature-packed big living room in such a small rig. And this is what I mean. You open this thing up and suddenly this little rig, easy to drive down the road, feels nice, big, and spacious when you get to your destination. It's wider, not longer. It gives you a different kind of big living space. It also doesn't hurt that it's 7 foot tall inside, so it has a nice big open feel. And the completely carpetless nature of this floor plan, along with no vents in the floor, it also visually tends to skew your perception to make it look and feel larger, not to mention the fact that it's just easier to clean. And note that it's also carpetless under that dining area there. Now, similar floor plans in that Mini C or Class B plus market, they'll usually have the entertainment up here in a traditional Class C position over the cab. But this is not really a traditional Class C. It's kind of a Class C reimagined, rethought. And they move the entertainment center over here. So that if I am sitting in those spin around rear facing seats, I'm on Boardwalk and Park Place with the best view of the entertainment center possible. And obviously that TV can crank around a little bit. So if you don't want to have a 90-degree neck wrecker from the rear bench on that U-dinette, you're going to be fine there too. But that, I think, is another one of those key differences there that really kind of separates this one. But once again, a traditional Class C, especially one and you could often refer to as more of an entry-level price point, like the Redhawk that we're looking at, to have those spin-around seats, more like a Class A motorhome or a jazzed-up B+. That is a neat, smart feature. Now you can see they just come with a couple, I don't know, it ain't pretty to call them this, but I kind of call a spade a spade. Sort of look like booster seat cushions, but the fact is, they get the job done, and it's actually, anyone who sits on those are always like, I don't know about that, but you actually sit on it, and they are surprisingly comfortable. So we've got excellent living space here, but again, between that over cab bed and that U-dinette, we also have great guest sleeping quarters as well. And there you have it. If you're looking for a small rig for couples cruising, if you're looking for a weekend driver, if you are looking for a small family wagon, you got them all. All those things. They all could describe the 24B Redhawk here at Haylett RV. The U-dinette can fold down. Now you can pull off those wraparound cushions for a little more space. I just wanted to kind of give you the idea. But I also, while I have the table out of the way, I want to point out the fact you got seat belts anywhere you can sit. That is a big time Jayco thing. If you want to sleep a bunch of people, you have to be able to seat a bunch of people. And they have accomplished that here. Now another neat thing. Anywhere Jayco puts a seat belt, they exceed federal required safety ratings on those by 10%. So they don't just make it minimally safe, they make it over the top safe. So pretty cool feature there. Now you see you've got the, they actually include a ladder and a little privacy curtain for that front area. So if you do need to kind of quarantine this off, need some evening privacy, you have all that space available to you. And again, with this being a wide body coach, you've got plenty of adult sleeping space here. And like all Jayco overcab sleepers, this maintains a best-in-class 750-pound rating for sleeping. In comparison, you will often run into things in the 500-pound range, which isn't bad, but I've seen some as low as 250, with 350 being a common number as well. So that extra strength integrity that they build into their overcab structure here, it makes it not just a kid sleeper, but an adult sleeper. And even if you're a tossing and turning adult sleeper, you're going to be okay here. Now, zeroing in on the cab area a little more, these cool spin-around chairs aside, of course, you have a sort of stereo, DVD, GPS, all in one kind of system here. It's nice that that's integrated backup camera, you know, kicks right on when you shift into reverse, all the stuff that you kind of expect. Now, the cab area of this one is very simple. In a Redhawk, they don't really mess with Ford's cab area too awful much. When you start getting into a Greyhawk, they will start kind of removing, replacing, updating certain things. But you do still have power side mirrors for some easy visibility, which is a handy feature. Now, interestingly, on the Redhawks, you still maintain the traditional Ford rear view mirror. Obviously, I got a wicked backlight, so you're not looking at anything currently. But the fact is, if you hear a funky noise, you want to keep an eye on what's going on in your cab, it's still kind of handy, still kind of useful. Now, that 7-foot interior, it is nice to make this thing look pretty large, but it also means that the storage gets to be pretty large. What's also nice is that Jayco didn't waste the opportunity. They threw some shelves in those cabinets to just double the storage that you already had. Now we've got hardwood cabinet door framing with pocket screwed cabinet style, so it is stuff that is proven to last pretty long, especially if you are bouncing and jouncing down the road. Now this is an interesting little cubby up here, because if you look at it, you see all kinds of hookups. What are these things? This is where you would kind of put like entertainment expansion systems. What's sort of nice too is you can put them here and not have to have wires strung all over your RV. It's all kind of wired up for you. You don't have to deal with that. While I'm looking up here, something else I do want to point out is the fact that all of your AC vents can turn and close. And that's a nice little thing that they do here to allow you a little more control over all of that. I also really appreciate the fact that even directly under light here, they don't have like a waxy looking quality to them. It's got a rich sort of luster, but not a waxy sheen to it. Over here we do have a convection microwave, so that will cook faster and introduce less heat into the RV, which is both of those are welcome features. Now down below, in place of a oven, which many coaches in this size and category do not have traditional ovens. They will go with that convection option. It's a little bit easier in a motorhome like this because you have that built-in generator giving you power to run the convection microwave pretty much whenever you want it. And the smaller the coach, the more critical every ounce of that storage space becomes. So you can see that extra big drawer where the oven could or would be. That is a welcome sight, and I also appreciate the fact they gave you a nice place here for a wastebasket under the sink. That's one of those things that it's just a pet peeve of mine when a camper does not have something like that. Now you do have easy reach appliance outlets in the kitchen as well, with one of those being located on the side over here. Now, circling back to the fact that we are carpetless, we are easy cleaning, we have no vents in the floor. Again, we are carpetless in the dinette. But if you look under that table, you see that black box to the left of that silver post. That's a set of household outlets with dual USB plugs. So if you're like me, and most of you I believe are, where you have some degree of American tech addiction, and you are unfortunately tethered to that phone more than you should be, you got a perfect little spot to keep devices like that all charged up. Now you do have privacy shades to be able to block all of this off here. And once again, that TV is just at the perfect location. I also like that the TV's not like all the way up against the ceiling. It's not a neck wrecker. It's an easy viewing entertainment scenario. But then we come back here into the bedroom area. Now, before we go opening all the storage around here, just give you, you know, a quick little look here. There are outlets right next to the bed on both sides. You can see one there on the base on this side. You do have headboard and side breeze windows. You do have bonus storage above. But it's when we start to blow all this cabinetry around the bed open that you see one of the areas where they expanded the 24B in relation to the Melbourne 24L is the storage in the bedroom. And I think they took it from great to better. And this is really one of 3 things they did that I think really knocked it out of the park. I think the moving of the entertainment center, the spinning seats, and the extra storage on that rear wall. Those were 3 major qualities for me that when I saw this thing, I went, wow, you guys were really paying attention, you really thought about it, and you really did it. So you've got all sorts of closet, pantry, linen space, whatever you want it to be here. And those drawers, those top 3 drawers actually do open further. I just didn't want it to look ridiculous by opening them all the way. Now, right between the storage and the dinette, you see how you have that extra cabinet below the TV area. Handy little nook and cranny there for a little bonus entertainment storage, but I love those mega dresser drawers. Now, they took advantage of the fact that their mattress needs to fold when it closes. And by folding, it made for an easy place to put, essentially, a storage chest. Now you look above that and you can see the hinged plywood decking below the bed. I mean, everything on this is high quality. It's simple, but simply effective. Now back here, this is normally where the 24L Melbourne stops. Behind the bed slide, there's just a window. And I like windows, don't get me wrong. But I've never had anyone ever trade in an RV because it had, quote, too much storage. I don't think I ever will. When I do, it's probably the day I'm going to hang up my spurs. It's probably going to be the last day I need to worry about being in the RV business because I will have heard it all at that point. Look at the massive closet back here, guys. This is just, I mean, more than enough for like a his and hers weekend. If you want to take extended touring trips, you have the capacity in here to do that. An RV doesn't have to be big to allow you to bring big storage with you. Now, naturally, the wall across from the bed, you can see you've got a couple little light switches and whatnot, but you do have TV hookups there under that overhead vent as well. Now, the bathroom here is really very, very similar to the 24L Melbourne, which is fine because that one had a great bathroom. So they didn't have to reinvent this wheel. But I think by reshaping some of those other wheels I've already mentioned, they've really created one heck of a monster here. You've got that sliding curtain on a radius track to give you a little extra elbow room. And I do love, oops, bumped the power button. Sorry about that. Anyway, big viewing and breeze window here, which of course does have the same kind of pleated nightshade that you've seen through the rest of the RV. Now that is a massive vanity. I don't know if you were noticing, but that thing just keeps on going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. You also have a nice stainless sink here. So even though this is more of a simple series Jayco, you do still have a nice bathroom, and I like the fact that we have plenty of floor space in here, especially when you get out of the shower. So you actually have plenty of room when you're all done to be able to get out of here, grab a towel, dry off, and get dressed without having to go in the living room and close all the windows and everything else. Now, 2 of the most important things to talk about are also 2 of the most boring things to listen to. So I'll do my best to make this entertaining as possible. But first of all, something I mentioned inside earlier with the slide close is that getting there with a motorhome is as important as being there. Because with a motorhome, the moment you turn your key, the vacation starts. And that's why Jayco spends more money in this class and category on their ride and handling package that they call J-Ride than anybody else. So, you know, there's plenty of other RVs that have a 100-inch wide body like this. There's plenty of other RVs on an E450 Ford chassis. Now, Jayco has twice the factory warranty that they do, so that's a big factor. But you can't see the rest of what they've done because they've done such a good job of it. So what they've effectively done, guys, is a comprehensive 4-point program here that starts with the front suspension, goes through the drivetrain, the rear suspension, and some isolation jounce bouncers between the above the rear tires to make this the quietest riding, best handling entry-level Class C on the market, period. And this is one of those RVs I truly feel that driving is believing. We have become a successful Redhawk dealer, and it's because we actively encourage people, get in here, get in it, Touch it, feel it, smell it, take it for a drive. When you do, you're going to catch the bug the same way we did. This is a series of RVs that initially, years ago, we weren't like super jazzed about. It didn't feel like it had that awesome Jayco spirit to it, and the more that we got to know it, the more that we realized it was all there. You're just not paying for glitz and glitter. But that being said, you have quite a bit in common with Big Brother Greyhawk here. All the core critical things are done. It's just maybe not as shiny, but it still has plenty of shine is the thing. So what do I mean by that? Well, we have the same, well, first of all, let's acknowledge real quick and then move on. The big slide awning cover, those are standard on Redhawks now. It just reduces care, maintenance, upkeep. It also shields the main slide body from excessive sun exposure, which does help you maintain interior cabin temperature in hotter climates. Now, back up here, we've got this all aluminum structured nose, and you also have this sleeve over nose cap. Some people have, down the street at the Dollar Cheaper motorhome store, have tried to tell our customers that if the cap falls off a Jayco, it's going to be open and exposed. Well, first of all, that doesn't happen. That's just scare tactics that we don't engage in. Secondly, they're wrong because they don't know anything about their product, because this wall goes all the way to the tip of that nose. It's a full wall with a sleeve over. And where you can kind of see that is there's no seams on your high stress points. Jayco got rid of those. They moved the seams down here to a low stress point so that you don't have things splitting, cracking open. Older Class Cs were notorious for having front cab leaks. We don't have that problem on our Jaycos because they move the seam to an area where it's just not going to be an issue. Now, under the slide, you do have your own generator that is capable of providing you with full service of this RV anywhere, everywhere you go. So you do have that, you know, full flexibility and function. Frameless windows are standard on the full Redhawk series here, and it gives it that sort of sleek look and shine and sheen. Now your slide side windows like those around the bedroom will be, you know, non-framed windows, because if you left that open and then close the slide, you'd crush it. But that's also what makes these very rainy day friendly. That's an excellent, excellent quality that we have here. Coming around the back, there's a really important thing I want to talk about. Just like Jayco has the best-in-class over-cab sleeping capacity, they also have the best-in-class tow ratings. If you read the specs in the brochures for most manufacturers, you're going to get some snake oil sales. They're going to tell you that it has a 7,500 pound rated hitch. And then they stop talking, they stop explaining. They want you to believe that that coach you're looking at has a 7,500 pound tow rating, when in point of fact it does not. The hitch might be rated for that, but where it attaches to the chassis is only rated for 5,000 pounds, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's normal. 5,000 pounds is a normal Class C tow rating. But Jayco worked with Ford on any of the Class C Ford chassis that Jayco builds, whether it's Redhawk or Greyhawk. They redesigned the back end of this chassis where it attaches to the hitching to allow for a full 7,500 pound tow rating with no need for external hitching or upgrades or nonsense or whiz bangs or gizmos. So this is out of the box, one of the best towing Class Cs there is on the market, short of a diesel Super C like a Jayco Seneca, which will get you well over 10,000 pounds. Now, of course, we've got, you know, all LED tail end markers, and your backup camera is actually an additional taillight. And kind of like the seat belts, it's just one of those safety concern items that Jayco has that makes me really appreciate them. As with us being a family-owned business, and with them being, you know, family-founded and operated business, those are the things that I look for that says, yeah, you're not interested just in selling something, you're interested in making a customer for life. And that's absolutely I couldn't describe better our, you know, the vision of Haylett RV here than making customers for life. Now, whether you're off the grid, with this being, you know, that generator, very off-grid friendly, plus this does have roof mount solar prep that we'll see in a minute, so this can be extremely off-grid friendly should you choose to add some solar capacity to it. But whether you're off the grid, just taking a break in a parking lot, or if you're at the races for the weekend or something like that, or just on a, hey, guess what, maybe just a traditional campsite. I suppose it could be used for plain old normal camping too. Well, you're going to appreciate that big awning on there, the one-touch nature of it. Now, when those arms are closed, it's actually easy to adjust the tilt of them so that when it opens up, it pops out on a little bit of a tilt for you, although it does have an auto rain dump feature. Now, back here, right behind the exhaust, right below that baggage door that's holding itself open horizontally, which is doing that so that it's not on the hot exhaust, mind you. There is a gas grill quick connect, so if you are looking for some outdoor grilling and entertainment, you got your chilling and grilling system going on here. Now note the location of those outside speakers. They're down very low so that you're not blowing the neighbors away. For years and years and years, manufacturers always mounted them up here. That's the worst place for them, because for you to be able to hear it at all, you had to have the volume on that thing absolutely cranked. Well, no longer an issue. The power step coming and going in this class, you'll run into a lot of RVs that actually have a cut down bucket step. And it does have its own advantages. Everything in this business, every RV is the best in a different way, but Jayco's going with the power step. So why have they done that? What's their thought process? What's their logic? Short answer is, it makes the step well not intrude so far into the RV, and it does improve the belly clearance of the RV. So you're a little more speed bump friendly, and you're less likely to not realize where you're stepping, step in the interior step well, twist or break an ankle or sprain something. It's just a little bit smarter, a little bit safer in that regard. But they had to spend a couple bucks to do it. But it's a heck of a lot less to buy a power step in an RV than to make a trip to the hospital for a sprained or broken ankle. I got an uncle that can confirm that for you. And this will be a short segment because it's in a short RV with a short roof. Hey, get it? Anyway, more to the point. Why am I up here? Well, the laminated nature of this roof makes it extremely walkable. This is just unbelievably strong, sturdy, feels very good up here. The King Jack antenna system, you don't have to crank it up and down. It sits below the air conditioner level, so it's not increasing the height of the RV. You never have to worry about it hanging off the side of the RV if you put it down incorrectly. It's only directional, so basically you turn it, you scan your channels, you're going to get more channels with more clarity. And then take note of the fact that they use an amount of sealing around their roof fixtures on these Jaycos that borderlines on obscene. It's almost hilarious, actually. I don't know if it's really knee-slapping hilarious, but it's comical. We'll say that much at least. However, remember, we do have roof mount solar prep here, and this model right next to that, just whew, wide open canvas. If you want to just go nuts adding panels to this thing, you could put a lot of wattage up here with the proper solar controller. Ooh, I like the rhyme of that, solar controller. Anyway, so whether it is hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between, we've only got about 500 plus options for you here at Haylett RV, ranging from anywhere from pop-ups, travel trailers, to fifth wheels, to motorhomes, obviously, and a little bit of horse trailers and cargo trailers and cars and trucks and everything else too. The one thing we don't do, because we do everything else, is hidden dealer fees. Now, we've taken plenty of time to educate you here. I don't care where you live, guys. We make deals happen. You give us a call, you give us a fair opportunity we've earned in exchange for our efforts, and like so many others before you, you won't be disappointed. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.